Hello. Is everything right? I think everything is fine. So let me just share the links. Share my links to my socials, and we'll start. Anyways, how are you? It has been long since I have done a coding stream, and I want to be consistent with this routine, but somehow I managed to mess up with my routine. But I really want to just a second. I'm just creating the link to share. Generate link. Copied the link. Add it to the link opener. So I think the story is uploaded and we are good to go. So like I was saying, it has been quite a long time since I have done a coding stream. Last time I left it on a note where we could only one stream was necessary to complete the project, and I was about to do it on the next week, but some things came on each Sunday, and sort of it didn't. Somehow it got postponed, but now today I am going to finish it, and also this might be the last stream of the Tetris series, but I have some other projects in mind too, and I'll be doing that too on the stream, or maybe some video format, but for sure on this channel, and I'll be doing I'll try to be more consistent with these, but enough from me. Let's start with the video, the stream. So if I'm sorry, let's recap on what we did so what we did was for till now what we have done. Let's just recap. First we worked on the play area, the play area, the UI. We worked on the rendering of the container, of this container, and then we worked on the rendering of the pixels that were in 10 by 20 pixels, and these along with that we also worked on the state measurement of these pixels, which means there is a state stored in our React, which which was in 10 by 20 array format, and each element of these 2D array is empty in it, and if it is true, that means these are it is an empty pixel, which are these pixels. And when it comes to this case, each pixel is empty false, and has other data like the color of the pixel and which block it belongs to. So now then we worked on updating the pixels logic, updating the pixels, which means it would whenever user gives an input, it should update. So we worked on that logic. Then we worked on the core mechanics of the project, which had controls. First was the controls. The controls means when the block is steady, it should go left and right. So the controls comes with left and right. And when it comes to some other blocks, there are rotations also. So we worked on the rotations too. Then we worked where so the left and right motion and the rotation, we worked on it. And then we worked on falling motion. So the block falls automatically. This is a pretty basic Tetris mechanics, that the blocks fall automatically. So we worked on falling, and along with falling we worked on how would it start, the falling would start, how it will end, and when it collides, and at the end there are two cases. One is when the block collides with the bottom. So when this block collides with bottom, then how it should how the state updates. And another case was accumulated blocks. So the blocks that are accumulated at the bottom, if the current block collides with those accumulated blocks, how it should update the state. So we worked on that. And then we worked on the block management. So before working on this, we worked on the point, that was the block management, so that we can save the state of the blocks. And you can see that there are some errors here still, and these I tried to work on it. I tried to correct on why it is behaving as such, but I am still not unable to I am still unable to find the solution to that. But I think once we try working on the lines, the main game logic, that is when a line is totally filled, then the lines get deleted, right? So I think that these once those are getting deleted, then the frequency of that error, that is overlapping error that we saw here, it will go away anyways. So once I worked on the falling, then we worked on the S mechanic. That was the S is the S function, S key makes that the block falls directly on the bottom or on the bottom blocks. So this was a different logic which we had to implement, and it was possible only after bottom block management system. So we worked on it later, and so we and once it was done, then we worked on a movement check with accumulated blocks. So this means that when there was a case where when the accumulated blocks, if there is a moving block, it would just go and if it was moving due to our left and right commands, then it would just overlap with the current falling blocks, and it would just delete them. So or even when it is rotating, it would just delete the blocks around it, which are already accumulated. So this is a bad behavior, which is unwanted behavior. So we had to work on that. So we worked on that. Then we worked on a new block added. That means when the new block is added at the last of the tower, the whole screen, then it should just render it and end the game, because once it reaches to the last line, it should end the game, right? So we did that. Then we worked on queue. We worked on how the queue will look. So before working on this, before working on this, we worked on this. Then we worked on this. We made it such that there would be a list, and it would change, and whenever the block gets deleted from here, it is added here, and it starts falling. And so on. So we can see that what blocks are coming before. So that there is that. And then we worked on then we were going we added a gradient effect. This was the last thing we did, and which means that what we did was we just added we added some styles to it, so such that this whole queue is now a little looks a little different. I think I should just add some more lines to it. 25 is cool, 25%. So this is how it looks right now. It was all the whole logic, this logic, the gradient logic, was all CSS. And it was pretty good to work on. It looked quite main queue block. Where is this block wrapper? Right, 25. So what's happening? I think it doesn't reload now. Anyways, it is not automatically reloading. So now this is, I think this is the last step of our project, and we should start with that. So it is the scoring of the game. That means whenever a line is completed, it should add score. First of all, we will add scores here. Here there would be score, and here it would have this text accordingly, and it would increase after each score. And then there is a multiplier system that we need, because there are a lot cases where player would complete multiple rows at a time, but mostly the highest amount is 4. So there is 1 multiplier, 2 multiplier, and 3 and 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 is the baseline score that we will get for one line. 2 is twice the score what we will get in baseline. 3 is thrice, and 4 is 4 times the score. Then we will have a message like game over and Tetris. Tetris is for when when a player gets 4x multiplier, it shows Tetris, and when game is over, it shows game over, and along with game over, we should be able to see the score that you got, and finishing touches if necessary. So these 4 tasks, these are what we are going to do. So let's work on the score. So first of all, let me open Paint. Let me just snap this photo. So okay, so now we will be score bold. First of all, let's make it all capital, score, and make it white, and make it bigger, more bigger. Let's align it like this. I think this is good. Score, and this number. Like this. What should I do it to 1 million? Once it is 10 million, it would be over. Like, I don't think 10 million is a good limit, because our code is not efficient, so maybe our program just breaks before it before it reaches 1 million. 9 million. Sorry, 99999 is like all these digits get are 99999. It would be a good limit to it. So let's just we'll work on that later. For now, let's we'll be rendering the score label here, and these 00 for as our score. So let's just work on that. Here is our code. Here is our screen. So is it visible? Oh, Anish Nikam, bro. Shout out. अरे Anish Nikam, how are you? Anish Nikam. क्या shout out? मेरे को shout out की जरूरत है अभी, तो बाद में देखा जाएगा. बाकी how are you? How is Sunday? Are you enjoying? So let's work on it. So let's pause our game, and we'll be working on rendering the div. So our rendering right now, if we see the main parent div and the structure, so we are going to this is a display flex. So and we have added the whole play area, first play area and second play area, the main play area and the queue. We can see these both. So we are going to add the score before the main play area. So there would be a div above our main play area, and which would render here. So let me just add it here. Okay, so where is main game? Main game, the main game wrapper has the main game, right? I think so. Block queue, flex wrapper, main game has 32. Okay, right. So we'll be adding the score wrapper here. We have not yet defined a score wrapper, so let's just define it here. Score wrapper would be fine. Happy to hear that. Score wrapper, let's just define it here. So it would have 12 pixel margin, and it would be a container with indefinite width. The width will be taken as per the content, and so let me just add it. Margin right, 12 is too small. 24 pixels, and then one will be adding another wrapper, score label, tiled div, color would be white as seen in the image, and font size would be font size would be 24 for now. We'll just we'll change it as per our likings. Export const array. Score value, would have the same color and values to it, and just it would be a different it would serve a different purpose. So we have added that. We'll add this. The label would be here, and the label would be score, right, and score value. It would have, for now we'll just use placeholder value, and we will change according to the state of the game. Okay, right, so we are able to see that the score is now visible. Let me just add text alignment to it. Text align end. Nice. So we have add text alignment too, and let's just decrease the distance between these two. I wanted it to be 8. I think 8 is fine, so we'll just add 8 here. and text align. Text align would be end. I don't think there is any necessity for these different. Oh no. Now we are good to go. Yes. Now one more thing. I think we should add font style, font family, Roboto. Now if we want to add fonts, we should first of all let's see what font we used here. Calibri, right? So Google Fonts, go on Google Fonts. This is how you add fonts to your project, your React project. You go on Google Fonts, this is a open source library for any. So that here you can find any font that you desire. Calibri, but I don't think Calibri would be here because it's like Google has its own fonts, right? So maybe we need that. Like Roboto, Google has Roboto font, which is pretty good. It is widely used. It can be it is widely used, and it's a good industrial standard. It has a lot of people use it, and it is good to look at. But how to add it to my project? Font link for HTML. So here is something that I should know. I have added fonts in my in other projects, but let's just search it. How to add Google fonts in React.js project. I'll just try this. We have to go to our index HTML file. We have to go link. We have to add a link here. Here we have the CSS API file name link, and the relation is style sheet. So we'll just now go here and add the API name. I'll just go here, look in the elements, and look for a roboto. I think I should just try this first. Now if I want to write font family roboto, why is there no roboto? Now here font family roboto. 26 roboto. Anyways, whatever, I'll just not add link font because the existing font is also okay to use. Text decoration, no, text orientation. Anyways, this is good too. I'll just this is correct. All caps looked a little wrong. Sorry for the so just now we have added the digits, right? Now these strings would be zeros first. Okay, let's add the score state to our main game, and we'll also add a function update score, which will update the score, which will get a new value for score, and it will just set the updated value in the state. This is pretty much self-explanatory. We added a state here with initial value 0, and we have added a function which would take a value and would update the existing state's value to the new value. And we'll just take this function and the state and pass it along to the play area. Update this dot update score, and the score would be taken from here and shown in here. Let's work on the formatting such that when there is according to the number of digits, it would fill other digits, other characters with zeros, because I want to see such that there are zeros and it would just increase as per the zeros the number increases. Or I think we should not do that. I'll do it if I want to, but it would be part of finishing touches. Let's just add it to finishing touches. Score display, score display. Nothing fancy. We would work on it later. Okay, so now score state management, right? We are going to work on score state management. So score state management. For that, before score state management, we also have to work on delete line, right? Delete line is a function which we need to work on, because whenever we need to whenever the game deletes the line, the score updates. So before updating the score, the line will be deleted, the state would change, and accordingly score would update, right? So let's do that. So let's get into it. Main game, play area. Let me just commit these changes because it is a different task than our score. So score rendering done. Let's just commit it. Now we'll work on the play area. We'll work on when the pixels delete. So when should we work on deleting the pixels? Good question. We'll work on it before the current block is falling. No, sorry. When should the okay, let's go through all the functions that are happening. Maybe there is a function where we can add the check. So what would happen if I want to show you when let's just say that this is the flow of program, right? This is the flow of program. And the game right now happens such that things are happening. There is motion, things are falling, things are rotating, things are there in the bottom accumulated, etc. Right? There are n number of cases that we have to take account for, but but we don't need to think about every aspect about it. We just need to add one function, one logic at each and every case, and that logic would check whether that condition is met, and if yes, it would delete the line, it would shift everything according to the deletion of the line, and it would just update the score at the same time and let the program run accordingly, like nothing happened. So this is happening, and probably if this line fills up, so something happened. This is an event that block is accumulated, or user press S. Okay, we got it. Accumulation of the blocks. Accumulation of the blocks is the time is the event when we will try to check when user presses S and the block falls, or when the block accumulates by itself. At that time, we will fire the event which will check whether any lines are filled. If yes, it will delete the line, shift the whole array likewise, and it would update the score too. So I don't think I needed any drawing for that, but yeah, it's good to have visual aid when doing so. So let's just search for our fall accumulation function. So when body is pressed, add block directly to bottom. This is one function which will add and create new block. Okay, this one, and check current block reach bottom. Check current block reach bottom block. Has reached bottom block. Then has current block falling, has reached bottom blocks. Will has reached bottom block will return the function. If no, okay, so has reached bottom block is our answer. But why is it used has collided with bottom blocks? If so, clear falling last block, create new block. Create new block when has collided, then okay, has collided, then return, has collided, then return. Okay, when rotation happens and if it has collided, then nothing happens. If if moves left or right and collision happens, then nothing happens. Left and right both. But when new is created, then something happens. But we don't need to look into the new function right now. We need to look into the only function that matters right now is current block falling. If current block is falling and it reaches bottom, then before creating a new block and after clearing the interval falling sequence and before creating a new block, it will check and update accordingly. And also when user presses S. These two are the cases where we will run our function. User presses S because this is directly adding the block to the bottom, and before creating the new block we will check for the existing state to update, right? So also the play area, right? Play area has main game, main game has initial queues. Initial queue is from modulus 1. LLJOI 0 1 2 3 4 5 5. I'm just adding such that only I is placed, which was 0 1 2 3 4 5, fifth element, that is fourth index. So okay, this is O. Why O? 0 1 2 3 4 5 0 1 2 3 4 5. Sorry about that. So in short, that what we have done is we are rendering only these blocks so that it is easier to fill them and check for line. Yet I am able to now we'll get only these lines. Nice. So we can test out easily. That's why I have changed the logic behind queues. What is happening, man? What is happening? Queue pops. If queue pops, the new queue shift. Okay. Oof. Sorry about that. New queue. Such a simple thing. Okay. Now we can check each and every case. 1 line, 2 line, 3 line all together. Right. So let's just start on it. Sorry, I just got distracted when it comes to Tetris. Maybe this was not a good example to choose for my first coding project, because this game is too distracting for me. Okay, so where were we? Falling, right? Before, when user presses S. First we will work on user presses S, and then we will just copy paste that logic in the falling section of the we'll just add that exact same logic to falling and it would be good to go. So let's just run this. Also I think we would have to update some functions accordingly, like we don't want to do multiple rendering. Let's just focus on future stuff later. Let's just this dot check and update filled line event. Okay, this function, let's just add that function here. What it would do is go through each line from bottom and check whether that line is filled. Let's go on pixels this dot state it would take the length of pixels is max length is 20, right? Max rows length is 20. So for let I equals 0, I is less than max rows. We'll be going rows by rows will be so the logic would be we'll go rows by rows and it would check for each row if for each line it would check whether there are any such cases where there is empty. For first line, if it would check if there is any one pixel that is empty. If it finds one, it would just break the line. Then it would go to the next line. It would check for one, and since there is a maximum limit of 4, that means you can say that it is like a logical limit, but we'll be adding that limit to make our game efficient. There is a logical limit of 4 because any block you take, it consists of 4 pixels. So at any permutation and combination, you apply any permutation, combination, anything, you will find that it will never exceed 4. That means at every time it would only fill 4 line at a time. So once while checking if it comes to that 4 lines are filled, that means we can say that there we don't need to check any further. We'll just delete those 4 lines and update the state from that. So let's just work on that. Let I is equals to, we'll just add one line count also. Line index, which would be array. And what we will do is whenever we find a line which is filled, we will just push the index of that line here in this array, and we will also check once that line is line index is length is equal to or greater than 4, it would just break the whole loop. So we'll just add that to here. Line index dot length is less than 5. Less than or equal to 4. I plus equals to 1. Right? So this is a pretty basic for loop. It would start from 0. It would go till 19, and till 19, and it will also check that line index count is less than or equal to 4. If it is false, this whole loop will break, and we will not be doing any further computation. So once that's done, let me just see. Pixel has rows has pixels has rows has pixel. Okay, so let me just console log our pixel here too, and we'll access current row here, which would be max minus I minus 1, right? So max minus I minus 1. I is like we'll be checking from bottom, and because you know that at the start the upper block is always empty, so we'll be starting from bottom, and if there is any empty, then we'll just end the line here. We'll check for here. Likewise, we'll be going up. We can work on optimization of this checking algorithm, because at the start of the game it is checking for things that shouldn't exist, and let's just work on optimization later. So we have taken the current row. For each current row, we'll be adding a flag here. Let is filled is equals to false. For each current pixel, we'll be checking that pixel is not empty, right? So pixel is empty. If pixel is empty, I think we should expand the function. If pixel is empty, then we'll just return, but not hello Shailesh, how is your day? I hope is fine. Okay, so let's go through the logic. Once start from here, it will check if it is empty, then the whole, if this is empty, then it will return. If it is not, then it will check next. If it is not empty, then it will return, and if it is, then it will change the to false. Nice. What I'm also nice. Any plans on Sunday? What did you do on the weekend? And where are you? Are you still in Udgir? Sorry. Are you still in your house? is filled will, so at every row will be considering that it is filled and check whether any one is empty, and if it finds one empty, it will just set the is filled to false, and then it will go forward. Sorry, it will break, and once it is broken, if filled is true, if its filled is true, then line index will have this index. And we have already added the line index, so let's just console log our line index here. I think the whole logic is fit here itself, as it fit here itself. So let's just see console log wait, I think there are too many extra console logs, that's why I'm unable to see what is going on. Line index, and I'll just find other console logs and delete them. Log WASD, it is necessary. This pixels is necessary. Okay, so I think the pixels that are console dot log here too. It is in block, right? Blocks are deleted too. Nice. Now we can see the logs as intended. Line index is 0. Okay, now the line index is still 0. Now line index has 19 in it. Now it has 19 and 18 in it too. Now it has 17 in it too. Now 16, but there is no 15 also. There is 15 too. Okay, let me just check that. Or wait, something happened. Okay, let me just add this logic here. If it is greater than 4, right? Now let's just try to fill 4 lines and check whether the line array increases than 4, because as intended it shouldn't increase than 4, yet it is increasing than. Why? Okay, it is not going more than 4. Okay, now I think it would work. It shouldn't be greater than or equal to 4. One, 2, 3, 4. 4. Now there are 4. Now if I try to add one more, it is not, because as intended it should only have 4 in it. I'm still in my house and today didn't do anything, just read book. And now I will have no doubt after your live video. Okay, thank you for waiting till I finish. By the way, which book are you reading? Any suggestions? So now it is working as intended. Okay, so now what we will do is take this line index array and we will just delete them and add and shift our array as likewise, and so it will delete this array and shift the whole state below, keeping the current above and the whole screen as it is. No, not the current. There won't be any current, right? Because the block has fallen, so there won't be any current. So we will just delete it. So let's just work on that. Const new pixels. We'll have empty array, then for each no, it won't be like that. How would it be? How to delete and shift array elements in JavaScript. Let's just ask our shift and pop power of subconscious mind. It will finish within 10 days. It's almost done. You can suggest next one. I don't read books, so I have no suggestions. But I have heard that power of subconscious mind is good. My mother has suggested me once. But if in fictions, if you want any book, then let me know. I have some suggestions, like The Alchemist is good. If you have read it, it's fine, but it's a good book. And other fictions, there are some like Dan Brown's thriller. Those are good, real good books. Okay, so let's work on the logic. So what I want to do is okay, what we can do is skip, right? So we'll just go through each and every line, and if that line exists in the array, line index exists in the array, we'll just skip that line and we'll add another. And if the length is shorter, then we'll just add new lines on the top of it. Let's do that. So pixels dot for each rows if row, right? Index, if index line index includes index, line index includes index, then cool. And if you have any good like if you have read any other books, just let me know. I'll also check them out. Else we'll just push the row here. Okay, and if pixel dot length is less than max rows, what we will do is add empty columns to it. And how we do that is will be seen here. What is the difference between const diff is equals to max rows minus length, and we'll just that many times we'll just push empty row to it, right? So for let I equal to 0, I is less than equal to diff, I plus equals to 1. For let j equals to 0, j less than max columns, j plus plus. In JavaScript there is no plus plus. I think that's why I'm doing it like that. New row equals to this, and it would have is empty true in it, and that row would be pushed into new pixels dot push will push the new row. I think this is it. We'll just update this dot set state pixels equal to new pixels, and once that is done, we'll just something should have happened, right? This should have got deleted and something happened, but it left something didn't happen. Console log the new indexes and let's just check again. When there is one, but it isn't here, right? Includes. So let's just console log. False, it's true, right? I suggest one book, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Yes, by Robin Sharma, right? Good to Treat. Then Wings of Fire. Wings of Fire I have read. It's an awesome book. Start with why. Okay. These are, you can read after all this based on too much philosophy. I like philosophy. I think you also have started reading philosophy. I love philosophy. Okay. 18 and 15. So the logic is working fine, but the new pixels aren't getting updated here, right? Let's just see what's happening there. New pixels. What are their ranges? Now this is 19. If the length is lesser than now, this should show the difference. Okay. Why is it not showing difference? Pixels dot length. Let me just add a debugger here. I think debugger would be better here. Debugger. Bugger. Okay, now we have the debugger. The length is 20. Oh, damn it. I am checking for new pixels length. So this was never going to be true. That's why it never fell in, the process never went here, and that's why nothing new happened here. Okay, so let's check. Okay, so let me check. I think I cannot now. So let's just go. Again, something happened. Okay, 0. There is no difference. Pixel. These are some silly mistakes that everybody does, and so am I. Now the diff is right, but less than. Okay, I think I need to add a debugger here now, because I also practicing and studying React side by side. Nice. So maybe yet this might be different to you. This class-based components might be different to you, because it is the functional most popular way to use React is functional components, and I am using React-based components. I want to use functional based, but I thought let's go with what I know first, then we will work on something else. I'll be exploring functional based too in some other project. For now, let's work with it. Okay, so okay, we have added the debugger, right? So let's just what? I added the debugger, right? Then why? And it is also console logging the diff, but it is not reaching the debugger. Okay, I haven't placed the debugger. That's why. Okay, so I is equal to diff is 1, I is less than 0, it's new row is empty. What's happening? Something happened, but so before doing this, what happens? Let's see. Okay, no. Console log new row and new pixels. Let's just see. Okay, or push, but nothing happens. Can perform React update on unmounted component. This is not memory. What the hell? Okay, I think I think there is a decrease in index. Okay, I think there oh okay, I think new pixel should update such that new pixels would be a whole new array with new row at the top and then the existing new pixels. This should be the right way to do it. This is why this is how it should be done. Diff is 1, right? Let me see the new pixels. What it should be is empty at the top. First 4 should be empty, and then 2 that are not empty, then last 4 would be empty, right? It is exactly how it is. And so goes for 17th, exactly what is for 16 and 15, and henceforth they are empty. And now we go forward. Length is 0, new row length is 0. Now new row has 1. Now new row has 2. If we go and J is 5, then J is 6, and new row is updating accordingly. J is 7, new pixels, new row has empty, and this has 19. Now new row has 20, new pixels have 20, and last one is likewise. Then it updates and the new pixels are updated. It should be. Then why isn't it updating on the function? Must have thrown some error, right? Why isn't even throwing error? Is it even rendering on log pixels? Let's just remove this debugger and this console log from here and check. Let's just check for this one. Okay. When it did render, it showed all filled. Why? Pause. It should have, okay, clear. I think before adding it should have clear the interval, right? Falling interval. That means nothing should have been updated before it falls. Then why is it rendering before with a older value? Why is it rendering with an older value when I have clearly updated the older value to a new value? It should be sequential. Render, it is rendering fine, and when I press S, new pixels have the correct value, but the render value has the wrong values. You can see it like the new value should have empties and 2 non-empty values, but here all are non-empty value. Well, I think I should okay, maybe it's updating before it could. Okay, so let's just do this, that we'll just shift this line here. Line index would be we'll get line index from here, and we'll we'll just check it here. New pixels will be changing here, and then console log this state. And once that is done, we'll create a new block. This must be it. So I'm making project on words, like when we click it will transform to uppercase and vice versa. Letter counting and how much time we'll need to read this like this. So your like a button which will transform text into uppercase and lowercase, that, and then letter counting. Okay, are you working on in JavaScript or C++, like in general? Because if you are working on JavaScript, then these logics are like functions in itself, like you can find transform to uppercase or and all in CSS and etc. And counting also, like if that is a string, then string dot length will give you the counting. But maybe you can call me later, and if you want to, if you are getting stuck somewhere, then just let me know exactly what you are working on then, or else all the best with that. or any small scale project or any medium scale project is also fine. You should just work on it, and you will learn a lot by just working on a project. Function based, okay, nice. Any small project is also worth doing, because you learn a lot from it. Function based React, yes, it's good. Okay, so you want to make a button which like a button which will wait a second, something happened. Okay, find includes line index. Okay, right, undefined line index. It should be returned here. Line index will be returned here, which will, whoa, something happened. Index, if there is index, if something, it is freezing in the air, lol, how is that possible? There is one in the air, there is one at the bottom, there is one somewhere in the middle. This thing is funny. How this happened, I don't know. Add block to bottom, true. Okay, so current block name has collided with bottom block, then it is added to the bottom. Okay, so I need to update bottom block. I think I have to update the function before. If it was the last block, or if it was this, then clear interval. No, current block, it wasn't a update pixels, has collided with bottom blocks, right? So create new block. When would it create a new block if it hasn't block? I don't know, maybe I should just clearing the interval. Okay, so let me just check again. Sometimes just okay, nice. So it worked. The last line got deleted easily. I think it isn't visually difficult to understand, but like if you see the height of the tower, it will decrease as we update. Like now if I press S, this would add here and the whole line will get deleted. Oh, something is happening. Oh boy. Oh no. Some game breaking functionality has been added. My game has started breaking. Like if you see here, there is a pixel, extra pixel. Okay, so before adding, if it starts falling, it will just break the game, right? So we'll just add the function here. So state should not, two functions should not update the state at the same time. Remember that. Asynchronous functions do such things. Oh no, something is throwing the error. I have to work on it. I'll just clear the console logs, extra console logs that are just peppered around here and there. Okay, so what we have done right now is, now the thing is, two functions are overlapping at the same time. That's why there is a collision. Sorry, there is a unwanted block here. Which is creating such issue. Okay, when S is pressed and the current block is still falling, how is it that I'd have to what is going on? Hello. हेलो। हाँ आ रहा है आवाज, बोल ना।
क्या कर रहा है?
स्ट्रीम चालू है, स्ट्रीम।
अच्छा,
कोडिंग की स्ट्रीम
क्या?
चालू है।
हाँ,
कोडिंग स्ट्रीम चालू है।
ओके, नाइस नाइस। क्या है तेरा उसका?
टेट्रिस।
अरे नहीं, वो तेरा वायरेक्स।
हाँ हाँ हाँ, एंटी-वायरेक्स।
अच्छा, एंटी-वायरस क्या? साला कॉपी कैट।
क्या हुआ?
एंटी-वायरस साले तो मेरे से निकाला ना नाम।
कौन सा?
ये
कौन सा?
एंटी-वायरस।
एंटी एसिड है तेरा नाम सबसे पहले,
हाँ
और एंटी
तो
वायरस होता है वो।
हाँ तो एंटीवायरस तो निकाला ना, लिया ना मेरे से
ओ
बस।
भाई, माय गेम, भाई बहुत
क्या हुआ?
ऐसी, ऐसा कुछ तो हुआ है ना, बहुत ही ज्यादा ब्रेक हो गया सब कुछ, एकदम
बता
पागल दिख
बता।
रहा है, पागलगिरी हो रही है।
रुक जा, मैं
स्ट्रीम पे
लॉगिन
देखेगा,
निकाल।
देखा पता चलेगा।
वही वही कर रहा हूँ
कुछ
कर
भी
रहा हूँ।
चीजें उड़ रही है यहाँ वहाँ।
कुछ तो कांड किया होगा तो कमिट है
कुछ
क्या, पुराना कमिट है क्या?
है
हाँ तो बस पर रिवर्ट करते उस पे।
चीज, चीजें।
ये लाइव डे 3 सेमीफाइनल्स है एंटीवायरस। क्या है? ए एन टी आई।
ANTI वायरेक्स,
हाँ। डब्ल्यू डब वाई।
YREX।
अच्छा ऐसा है क्या? हाँ। ना भाई तेरा चैनल ही नहीं आया।
अच्छा,
नोप, नहीं दिख रहा। राहुल क्या यूज कर रहा है? क्रोम किधर है इसका? ये रहा।
anti-yREX होगा।
ना भाई, ये रहा एंटी हाई। क्या करता है भाई? ना भाई तेरा चैनल ही नहीं आया। चल रहा है, खोला है तेरा स्ट्रीम, देखते हैं क्या कर रहा है। कहाँ पे, कहाँ अटका
हो
है?
रहा है मेरा, अरे भाई छोड़, मेरा हो रहा है दिमाग खराब। बैठे
अटका
बैठे
पर अटका अटका पर अटका किधर है वो तो बता।
दिख रहा नहीं है क्या स्ट्रीम पे?
अच्छा बीच में, अरे जब बीच में जो अटका है वो ना।
हाँ, कुछ भी
अरे
उड़
तो
रहा था।
ये रेंडरिंग इशू है तेरा, वो पिक्सल अटका, वो अटका पड़ा है।
कुछ कुछ तो गड़बड़ है
तो
तेरा।
रोटेट, अभी तू इसको रोटेट वगैरह भी तो करा ही रहा था ना?
हाँ, रोटेट तो है।
सेम ही लॉजिक रखा है क्या जो उस टाइम लास्ट टाइम रखा था?
वही है।
वही है क्या? सही है।
कुछ भी
तो
उड़ जा रहा है।
कुछ भी तो नहीं, अरे रेंडर ये उसका इशू है मेरे को जहाँ तक लग रहा है, रेंडरिंग का इशू है रे तेरा जो
हाँ
जो तू उस पे कर रहा है ना।
हाँ, रिएक्ट पे कर रहा हूँ।
नहीं नहीं,
स्टेट अपडेट जो हो रहा है ना, दो अलग
स्टेट
अलग स्टेट है
अपडेट।
एट ए टाइम वहाँ पे आ रहा है,
हाँ,
इस वजह से
वो एक डिले, हाँ।
इशू।
अरे स्टेट तेरा एसिंक्रोनस काम करता है ना,
वही।
तो ये तेरे को इशू आएगा।
ये
एक काम कर, अगर देखो फिर भी अगर ये तू स्टेट जो वो अपडेट कर रहा है ना,
हाँ
उसका सीक्वेंस चेंज करके देख।
हाँ, अरे सीक्वेंस के अंदर ही रखा है, मतलब ऐसा कि एक स्टेट अगर क्या बोलता है, अगर कुछ चेंज है तो वो स्टेट आगे जो कुछ होने वाला है, तो पहले
हाँ
नया स्टेट अब जो है वो चेंज होगा, फिर बाद में आगे जो कुछ भी होने होगा ऐसा।
नहीं
तो
नहीं,
मतलब वो एरो
नहीं,
फंक्शन के
ऐसे नहीं।
अंदर है।
हाँ मतलब मतलब सीक्वेंस एज इन, तो जो तेरा जो पुराना स्टेट है ना वो पहले अपडेट करवा,
हम्म।
फिर नया अपडेट करा। जो तेरा कोड है ना उसकी सीक्वेंस की बात कर रहा हूँ, ना
हाँ।
कि लॉजिक के सीक्वेंस की।
ओके।
कोड कोड में जो तेरा सीक्वेंस आ रहा है ना उसका स्टेट अपडेट का,
हम्म।
तो ध्यान तूने शायद से गलती से पहले वो करा होगा, पुराना नया वाला अपडेट कर रहा होगा, राइट? देख एक बार।
वही नया वाला जो आ रहा है वो पहले आ रहा है।
हाँ, तो उसको उससे पहले, नए वाले से पहले ना तो पुराने वाला अपडेट कर, फिर नया वाला कर, क्योंकि वो क्या है, और तेरा जो नया नया स्टेट का वैल्यू आ जाएगा, राइट? पर
हाँ हाँ।
पुराना टाइम लेगा,
हम्म
तो उसकी वजह से भी इशू पड़ता है। नहीं तो अगर फिर भी ये परसिस्ट कर रहा है ना,
हम्म।
तो अगर पॉसिबल है तो उसमें ले ले, वेरिएबल में।
हम्म।
तो वो जल्दी काम, वो तेरा जल्दी काम करेगा। स्टेट थोड़ा सा रहता है, इसका डिले रहता है थोड़ा सा स्टेट में। मेरे को भी आया था ये, उसमें आया था। सर्च क्वेरी लिखते ना, नॉर्मल सर्च क्वेरी,
हम्म।
उसमें आता है। अगर तेरा की स्ट्रोक तूने जल्दी जल्दी टाइप करके, फास्ट टाइप करके तूने एंटर मार दिया ना,
हम्म।
तो वो स्किप कर जाता है स्टेट।
बराबर।
स्टेट नहीं आता है, तो उसको मेन तरीका उसका है कि एक बार तो, नहीं तो फिर वो करो, स्टेट को और थोड़ा सा ऑप्टिमाइज करके करो, नहीं तो फिर उसको वेरिएबल में शिफ्ट करके कर दे।
वही, पहले
वो भी
मतलब वो लॉजिक ऐसा रखना पड़ेगा कि पहले स्टेट अपडेट होने से पहले ये चेक कर ले वो कि लाइन है क्या, अगर होगा तो डिलीट कर दे, फिर बाद में उसका स्टेट
ना
अपडेट
ना
करे वैसे।
डिलीट ना डिलीट नहीं, जो तेरा नॉर्मल सीक्वेंस रहता है ना, जो तू कोड में सीक्वेंस लिखता राइट, लाइन बाय लाइन, जावास्क्रिप्ट लाइन बाय लाइन इंटरप्रेट होता है, इंटरप्रेटेड कंपाइल्ड नहीं है। तो वो पहले क्या करेगा, तेरा नया अपडेट कर देगा, नया अपडेट होने से पहले नया अपडेट हो जाएगा, फिर वो पुराना वाला अपडेट करेगा राइट।
बराबर।
तो उससे अच्छा तू पहले पुराने वाला अपडेट करा फिर नया वाला कर, तेरा पुराना वाला वैसे भी इफेक्ट कर रहा है तेरे कोड को। तो इससे अच्छा तेरा जो सीक्वेंस में चल रहा है, तो आगे पीछे जो ऊपर नीचे जो सीक्वेंस है तेरा 1 2 का, तो उसको 2 1 करके देख ले एक बार, अगर कर सकता है तो। उन्होंने क्लास बेस बनाया कि फंक्शन बेस बनाया?
क्लास।
अरे क्या किया तो क्या किया।
चल वैसे भी गया मेरा मेंटल कैपेसिटी आज का। अब अगले संडे देखते हैं। मेरे को लगा था लास्ट स्ट्रीम होगा।
कितना टाइम चल रहा है, कितना टाइम से तो
पता नहीं, अभी 4:30 को चालू किया था।
ऐसा 2 घंटे में खत्म भी हो गया तेरा? हट रहे
हाँ
क्या है, इतना क्या त्रास गया है
अभी छोड़। चल